Dontaesboxingnation, what's going on, guys? You know, I got to tell you from my own personal perspective, whenever I see a video on YouTube or wherever it is, right? And I know the guy who's talking boxing, he knows boxing. He truly knows boxing, right? And you look at the likes and there's a whole bunch of dislikes. Me personally, those are the videos I can't wait to watch because I know that means that somebody is speaking the truth, right? And in this video, that person speaking the truth happened to be Pauli Malignaggi, the best color analyst, boxing analyst there is today. Matter of fact, let me change that to top 2 because Teddy Atlas is one of the best as well. So let me first go ahead and give you guys a summary of what took place before I give you my personal thoughts. So somebody sent me this link and the text basically read Pauli Malignaggi speaking the truth, right? So I check out the interview. It was an interview conducted by the Boxing Voice, right? And in this interview, now what's so interesting is in the sport of boxing, I think we all know this, regardless if people want to admit it or not. But in the sport of boxing, the majority of boxing fans are casual fans. It is probably one of the only sports that's like that, where a lot of pride and personal emotion basically dictates the perception of what's often said by fans, writers, reporters, etc. So in this interview, you hear this guy basically saying the same things that we hear the majority of people say about Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford now being added to that list, Guillermo Rigo, Edislandi Lara, and the list will continue to go on and on. That is my new coincidental list, right? Because boxing fans will try to convince you that it is nothing but a coincidence that these particular fighters are treated this way, and nothing but a coincidence. So anyway, this guy, he starts off the interview basically insinuating that if this fight doesn't happen, it's going to be because Mayweather turned it down. I mean, forget about the fact that Manny Pacquiao has already turned down the fight 3 times, where 2 out of the 3 offers, Floyd Mayweather actually approached Manny Pacquiao, actually reached out directly to Manny Pacquiao, calling him on his own cell phone. Come on, Manny, let's make the fight, right? But forget all of that. If this fight doesn't happen, it has to be Floyd Mayweather's fault. How could it possibly be Manny Pacquiao's fault, right? Now, the title of this interview is Paulie Malignaggi, he blows up on Manny Pacquiao. But I truly believe that Paulie was really blowing up on the guy that he was interviewing and the fans of boxing who say the most ridiculous stuff on the internet and wherever else. So as this guy starts off the interview by basically insinuating that Floyd Mayweather will be to blame if $200 million is offered and the fight doesn't come to fruition, Paulie Malignaggi, he responds, well, part of his response was basically saying later on that Manny Pacquiao knows that the fight won't be close. Bob Arum knows that this fight won't be close. And then he starts breaking down the fight, saying how pretty much Manny Pacquiao, he has no chance. Matter of fact, I'll put the link to the video up in the description box. So anyway, Paulie is extremely animated, basically saying that Manny Pacquiao is going to lose this fight. He's completely breaking down. Paulie is saying a lot of things that you guys heard me say on numerous videos. One thing I think I told you guys is I truly believe, I agree with what Paulie said in this interview. I've always thought that the first couple of rounds, they would be competitive, Mayweather versus Pacquiao. But I believe later on in the second half of that fight, Floyd Mayweather, he will be walking down Manny Pacquiao. You hear these ridiculous casual fans saying, oh, Floyd, all he's going to do is run and whatever, whatever. But honestly, if you contrast both Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather's fights, you will find out that Manny Pacquiao has moved around the ring more than Floyd Mayweather has. Floyd Mayweather does not just constantly move around the ring in fights. Okay? When Floyd Mayweather fought against the biggest, youngest fighter he's ever fought, which was Canelo Alvarez, and one of the strongest punchers in boxing right now, Floyd Mayweather, he stood there toe to toe with Canelo, and eventually he started walking down Canelo. In the later rounds, Floyd Mayweather had Canelo clinching. Okay? So the point that I'm making is I believe he's going to do this with Manny Pacquiao. But don't get me wrong. Manny Pacquiao has a very good chance of catching Floyd Mayweather with a good shot in the earlier rounds or, throughout the fight, because that left hand is very quick and it's very accurate. But if that left hand doesn't land, Manny Pacquiao has a serious problem, and he's going to have to deal with Floyd Mayweather constantly coming forward. I think Floyd Mayweather will try to walk down Pacquiao similar to how he walked down Zab Judah. Not saying that it's going to be the exact same way. Not saying that Manny Pacquiao is Zab Judah. I'm just saying I believe he will walk him down. Okay, so Paulie is explaining this in the video, right? And then the guy comes back by once again trying to me, this is my personal opinion, but he insinuates by saying, oh, so you believe that because Floyd Mayweather fought bigger fighters like Canelo, he'll be able to walk down Pacquiao because he's smaller, right? Now, the way I took it is he's basically trying to say, oh, well, Floyd, yeah, even if he does walk him down, it's only because Pacquiao is a smaller fighter. But once again, Floyd Mayweather, he walked down Canelo Alvarez, who was much bigger than he was, right? So Paulie, he responds to that question by basically saying he believes Floyd Mayweather will walk down Manny Pacquiao because Pacquiao, he likes to exert a lot of energy by doing a lot of moving. He moves around in the ring a lot. Paulie explained how a lot of people call Floyd Mayweather a runner, but Floyd doesn't really run in the ring. A lot of times he's walking in the ring and he walks down a lot of fighters. This is, pretty much what he said. So to me, this interview was in some ways somewhat of an indirect debate. It was the guy interviewing him in a certain way kind of debating with Pauli Malignaggi. Not saying that was his intentions, but I'm just saying that's the way it was perceived. Because then the interviewer, he started talking about Floyd Mayweather being the A side and pretty much being able to choose the ref, the ring size and so on and so forth. And that's when Paulie really exploded and said, the A side always dictates when it comes to negotiating. Ring size, how much money they're going to make, and so on and so forth, right? And, this is the funny thing. I'm not going to go too deep into it. You guys can watch the interview. But let me add on to what Paulie just said. Because Paulie, he talked about how there was a time when I was on the B side, I had to, meet my opponent's demands just to get the fight. Right? And another thing that Paulie did talk about, because I was about to skip that, but something you guys have always heard me say, when you are the B side, what you do is you beat that guy. If you don't like the money you're getting, if you don't like the circumstances, you beat that guy, and then you have a rematch. Then you can dictate. Then you can start to demand stuff, right? If you truly believe that you're better than that guy, that you deserve, a better shake at the negotiation table, then you need to beat the guy, come back in a rematch, then say, okay, now this is what I want. Now this is the kind of ring I want. This is how much money I want, so on and so forth. Okay? You guys have heard me say what Paulie is saying right now for a long time on YouTube. All right? But what I'll add on to what Paulie said is, you guys have to also remember that this guy is once again talking about Floyd gets to choose the ring size, this and all that kind of stuff. Oscar De La Hoya did the exact same thing to Floyd Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya, he chose what division to fight at. He chose the glove size, the glove brand, the ring size, okay? It was Oscar De La Hoya. He wanted to fight at 154 pounds, a division that Floyd Mayweather had never even fought at. In fact, Floyd had just moved up to welterweight, and we already know he's a small welterweight. So De La Hoya was trying to get every single advantage he could. On top of all of that, Oscar came in the night of the fight about 20 pounds bigger than Floyd Mayweather, and then he had his guard protector damn near all the way up to his chest because he was still having flashbacks of that body shot he got caught with against Bernard Hopkins. So everything was against Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather still found a way to win the fight. Okay? Everything was against him. He wasn't even the B side in that fight. Floyd was the C side in that fight. Okay? He got a fucking fraction of the money when it was, he got no pay-per-view shares. And Floyd Mayweather, he beat Oscar De La Hoya. The gamble paid off. Now who's the pay-per-view star? Now who's the A side? It's Floyd Money Mayweather, right? Like you guys heard me say a million times, if Manny Pacquiao truly believes he can beat Floyd Mayweather, if you fans believe that Manny Pacquiao could beat Floyd Mayweather, then you take whatever money is offered, you beat his ass, and then in a rematch you say, now I'm the A side. Because now you're in a position where you could say, listen, you need me. I'm the first guy to beat you, and I know you want to avenge that loss bad. I could walk away from the table right now and leave that one L on your record, or you're going to meet my demands. Okay? This is the reason why you have to beat the guy. And this is what Pauli Malignaggi basically said in this interview. So in my personal opinion, I thought this was a great debate, an indirect debate. No doubt the interviewer, he did a good job interviewing Paulie Malignaggi, not saying anything bad about him. But in my opinion, it was somewhat of an indirect debate with Paulie Malignaggi against a lot of fans that leave messages that are very similar to the points that the interviewer was bringing up in this interview. So go ahead and check that interview out. I'll try to put the link in the description box. Now, one thing I will say when it comes to whose fault this may be if this fight doesn't go down. First of all, I truly believe the fight is going to happen. But I will say, if Manny Pacquiao does keep his word, because he said that he's willing to take whatever money is offered to him to make this fight happen for the fans. If he's willing to do Olympic-style, strenuous drug testing, random drug testing, right? And Bob Arum isn't trying to interfere and trying to make negotiations difficult when it comes to money or whatever else, then there should be no excuse for Mayweather. There should be no excuse for Manny Pacquiao to make this fight come to fruition. I will leave it at that. So once again, let's see what happens. Check out the interview with Paulie Malignaggi. And that's all I got. I'm on to the next one.